What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Kyle Johnson. Thank you so much for stopping by. I do apologize for this rather amateur setup today. I was having an issue with my tripod today, but I still wanted to give you guys some content. You guys deserve some content, and I want to throw some of that your way. And with that, it is WrestleMania season. A big time of year for us wrestling fans. And with all that said, we are coming in hot. We are doing WrestleMania main events tier listed, ladies and gentlemen. We're doing over the last 20 years. So we're starting at WrestleMania 22 and we're going all the way through to rank all these main events because we would be here all day if we were ranking all 40. Well, there'd be more than 41 main events because we're also including night one main events when those start. So if you enjoy this video and more wrestling content like it, be sure to give me a subscribe, tap the little bell for notifications. I will be here every single week with brand new content. All right, so here we have our tier ranking, and we have our tiers here. Top tier we have goated. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Just reserved for literally the greatest Mania main events of all time. We have great, we have decent, forgettable, and of course, trash. I'm sure there will be plenty to go in each. So let's just get right to this tier ranking here. Let's start off with WrestleMania 22. We have Triple H versus John Cena. I actually recently revisited this match not too long ago. It wasn't like a horrible match by any means, but it also wasn't a match I consider particularly great. It was okay. It was decent. So we're going to put it in decent. The match that preceded it, on the other hand, Shawn Michaels versus John Cena at WrestleMania 23. This match was great. We're going to put that one right there in the great category. A bunch of near falls. There was like a finishing sequence that was fantastic. Excuse me. I personally think their Raw match was better. But we're not ranking Raw main events. We're ranking WrestleMania main events. And this match was great. WrestleMania 24, we have The Undertaker versus Edge. I think this one was also fantastic. I do see, looking back, why Vince allegedly wanted Edge to break the streak here. Edge was on a hot streak at the moment, but I think they did end up making the right choice of not having Edge win here. This match was fantastic. You had the shenanigans with Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. Undertaker and Edge always put on great matches together. This one's going right in the great category. Now we have WrestleMania 25, Triple H versus Randy Orton. This one's going right in trash. I'm sorry. And let me explain myself here. I genuinely don't think I need to, but let me explain myself here. Like, you look at the build to this match. I think it was an all-timer WrestleMania main event build. You had, Randy Orton attacking Triple H's family, attacking his wife right in front of him and kissing her unconscious body. And then you had Triple H break into Randy Orton's home, break through his front door with a sledgehammer and beat the shit out of him, and then smash him through his own window. And then you go to the match, and it's like the stipulation is if Triple H gets disqualified, he loses the title. This match should have just been a absolute bloodbath. Like, if you guys remember their No Mercy 2007 match, it was a last man standing match. That's the match they should have had here. But instead, they just had like a basic ass match that was pretty long and pretty slow and pretty boring and definitely did not live up to the hype that this match built. So, very disappointed in that. WrestleMania 26, Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker. Of course, this was Shawn Michaels' retirement match. It was Shawn Michaels' last match, definitely. And yeah, it was not as good as the WrestleMania 25 match. I don't think anything's beaten that match. It's one of my favorite WrestleMania matches of all time. It's one of my favorite matches of all time. But this match was utterly fantastic. Um, it being, Shawn Michaels' retirement, of course, was also a big deal. We're gonna throw that one in goated. It's gonna go in goated. Anytime Shawn Michaels and the Undertaker are in the ring together, goated. So we're gonna throw that one right there. WrestleMania 27, The Miz versus John Cena. I consider it the worst WrestleMania main event of all time. So we're throwing that one in trash. Like, what was The Miz doing in the WrestleMania main event? What was The Miz doing in the WrestleMania main event? He had no business being there. Yeah, that one's going to stay in trash. WrestleMania 28, we had once in a lifetime John Cena versus The Rock. Now look, was this like an in-ring 5-star classic? No, it wasn't. But this match, I think, is the pure definition of big fight feel. I genuinely believe that. The crowd was insane for this match. They made it feel so huge and iconic. They had like a press conference for it beforehand. It was a mainstream draw. They had like musical performances for each of their entrances. John Cena, I think, had Eminem perform. I forget who The Rock had perform for his entrance, but it was truly one of the greatest moments and big fight feels in WrestleMania history. And for that, we are gonna put it in goated. We just are. It's gonna go in goated. I'm sorry, guys. It's gonna go in goated. Their other match, on the other hand, twice in a lifetime, WrestleMania 29 for the WWE Championship, was not nearly as good as the first one, in my opinion. The in-ring work was decent, but at this point, it's like it was nothing too exciting. We're gonna put it at decent. It wasn't utterly trash, but we are going to put it at decent. WrestleMania 30. Yeah, 30. Um, Randy Orton versus Batista versus Daniel Bryan for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Of course, this match is iconic. WrestleMania is an iconic WrestleMania moment. Um, it was incredible, truly incredible. Do we put it in great or do we put it in goated? The match itself was great. The finish was, of course, iconic. Um, you know what? We're gonna put it in goated. Iconic finish, iconic match. We're gonna put that one in goated right there. That's where it belongs. Um, WrestleMania 31, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. This match had no hype going into it. I don't think anybody wanted to see this match, and I think it just over exceeded because of that, because of the fact that no one was interested in it. They delivered. They put on a great match. Seth Rollins um, cash in at the end was fantastic. Heist of the century is an iconic WrestleMania moment. Um, this is the one and only time you're going to see this for a Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns main event on this list. We're going to put it in great. I think it was a great match and a great moment as well. Following it up with WrestleMania 32, Triple H versus Roman Reigns for the WWE Championship. Yeah, we're going to throw that one right there in trash. It was not good at all. It was slow. It was boring. It was way too freaking long. Just not a good match. WrestleMania 33, Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker. Now, look, I know our first instinct is to throw it in trash, right? I don't think it was trash. I definitely don't think it was Roman Reigns Triple H levels of bad. It was clunky. It was disappointing, right, to see Taker moving the way he was. but I don't think it was utter trash. I am going to put this one in forgettable. It was not good by any means, but I just don't think it was utterly trash. Um, and I know at the time we all hated the finish of Roman Reigns going over The Undertaker. But seeing what Roman Reigns would end up becoming in retrospect, I think it was the right call. I genuinely think Roman should have been the one in general to end the streak. Like, it should have been Roman, not Brock. But, beggars can't be choosers. WrestleMania 34, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. Yep, you're going right there in trash. This match was just a mess. Nobody wanted to see it. Nobody wanted either man to win, and that's a horrible position to be in when you're booking a match. Excuse me. Yeah, they changed the finish mid-match. Not even, the wrestlers in the ring were enjoying this thing. So, uh, utter trash. Definitely in contention for worst main event of all time. WrestleMania 35, we have the first ever women's WrestleMania main event. Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch. Winner take all match. The build to this thing was great. I think they did a good job of making this match feel like a big moment and a big fight feel in the build up and in the presentation. I think the match itself was okay. I don't think it was anything too special. I didn't like the finish. The finish was clunky and weird. But the match itself, we're going to put that one in decent. We're going to say it was decent. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great by any means. Brock Lesnar versus Drew McIntyre, WrestleMania 36, Night 2 main event for the WWE Championship. That's going right there in trash. I mean, 5-minute finisher fest. Drew McIntyre deserved better. Like, I genuinely believe that happened because Brock Lesnar probably didn't even want to do the show when he found out there was no crowd. He was probably like, screw this, Vince. I don't want to do it. And Vince was like, you got to drop your title. And he's like, all right, I'll give you 5 minutes. Like, I guarantee that's probably what happened. On the other hand, The Undertaker versus AJ Styles Boneyard match, night 1 main event of WrestleMania 36. We're going to do it, guys. We're going to put this one in GOATed. Just because I think it set a standard for cinematic matches that no other cinematic match that WWE attempted could ever meet. Like, it set a standard that no cinematic match could ever live up to. This thing was the best cinematic match WWE's ever done. And it set a standard in cinematic matches that I just like a new genre of match in a cinematic match that I don't think anything could ever live up to. So I think for that alone, it goes in GOATed. WrestleMania 37, night 1, we had Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I'm going to put this one in great. I think it was a very great match. Of course, these two women deserved to main event. They put on a really great match, in my opinion. I wasn't a huge fan of the build up to this match, but I definitely think the execution was fantastic. And then we go on to night 2, Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan versus Edge. I think this match was also great. We're gonna throw this one in great. I think this match really solidified Roman Reigns as like the unbeatable tribal chief, and really set forth this reign of terror that Roman Reigns was going to go on. So that double stack pin, I think, is like an iconic moment. You can't go wrong with this match. WrestleMania 38, night 1, Kevin Owens versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. The great thing about this is like you don't really know what to expect going into it. I know I didn't because like Stone Cold hadn't wrestled in like what 18 years, 20 years, whatever it was. And like we didn't know what to expect. Was it going to be 2 minutes, 5 minutes? They ended up going for a while. Like, and this was actually a really good match. And because of that, I'm gonna put it in great. I think it just exceeded any expectation it could have ever had. It wasn't the greatest match of all time, but I think it was definitely a match that exceeded expectations. Um, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, title for title in the biggest WrestleMania match of all time. They billed this as. It was not. the biggest WrestleMania match of all time. There are bigger matches on this list, as a matter of fact. So definitely not. Um, in this match, I don't think it was as bad as the New Orleans match, WrestleMania 34, but still not good. We're gonna put this one in forgettable because I genuinely don't remember anything about it. But I just don't think it was as bad as that debacle at WrestleMania 34. At least in 38, they had someone to cheer for. Like they wanted Roman Reigns to win. So at least there was that. WrestleMania 39, I was actually in attendance for WrestleMania 39. So I might be, actually, I don't think I'm going to be biased here. I think this is universally agreed upon. The Usos versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, that was a great match. Just fantastic. The tag titles main evented WrestleMania. I mean, that's something that's never going to happen again. But this was just the perfect story, the perfect scenario, the perfect finish. This was fantastic. Night 2, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. I think at the time, a lot of people hated the finish, me included, but retrospect is a powerful thing. And I think it ended up working out in WWE's favor big time. And I think also the match itself in ring was just fantastic. It was a great match, and feeling the energy of the crowd being in the stadium, like it was one of the most polarizing crowds I've ever been a part of. Like the crowd was truly split between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, and it was truly just a fantastic match. We're gonna put this one in great. Um, as well. Um, WrestleMania 40, night 1, we have The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. We're also going to throw that one in great. Was a fantastic match. Nothing really more to say about it. It was a great match. And then the night 2, Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns, Bloodline Rules. Say what you want. I'm putting this one in goated. Just because the way I felt watching this match live and in person, well, not in person, like I wasn't at the stadium, but watching it live as it was airing, I think is just something that is unmatched. It's a feeling that I haven't felt since, and um, you can't beat that. You can't buy that. So yep, it stays in goated. Now we are on to the most recent main events. WrestleMania 41, Night 1, CM Punk versus Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. This one easily goes into great. The in-ring action before the big twist at the end was really great. The build up to this thing was great. The execution was great. The ending was fantastic. Like it's a shame how far the vision has fallen because this was incredible. No doubt in my mind. And then we have Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. Now look, I know y'all want to instantly throw this thing in trash. Hear me out for a minute. I think the reason we were so upset with it is because we were all expecting The Rock and we got Travis Scott instead, which understandably pissed people off. It pissed me off and definitely soured me on the match. But I challenge you to go rewatch this match now with unbiased eyes. And I'm telling you, everything leading up to that Travis Scott finish was not as bad as you remember. It definitely wasn't. Wasn't a great match by any means, but definitely wasn't as bad as you remember. The Travis Scott stuff was not good, obviously. Cena winning was a great moment, but everything before Travis Scott, it wasn't great, but excuse me again. It also wasn't horrible. So we're gonna throw that one in forgettable. We're not gonna put it in decent because it wasn't, but we're not gonna put it in trash either. We're just gonna put it right there in forgettable. Well, there you have it, folks. That is my official tier ranking. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know your opinions. I'd love to hear them. And let me know if you want me to do more of these tier ranking videos. I definitely enjoy it. I think it's obviously a big topic right now, being WrestleMania season. And we'll have to see what the main events this year bring us for WrestleMania 42. But in the meantime, guys, tap that like button, give me a subscribe because I will be back every week with brand new wrestling content. I will see you guys in the next video.